Well, good morning. It's been here fast forward, and today is the beginning of the next chapter. We're here in Gosford, Point Frederick to be specific, and just in from my mooring to be even more specific. So today I'm getting picked up shortly by my brother, who's kindly offered to take me down to Pittwater, north side of Sydney, where I'm going to be picking up my new boat, Doxie. Doxie is an Arends 33, Arends 33, and I'll be sailing her back home here to Gosford today. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, let's see what happens today. That's going to be a biggie. Here we go, on our way out to Doxie, and the sun's coming out. It's going to be a nice day. There she is. Well, here we are on board Doxie, and Trevor's trying out the head, and yeah, just got on board, and it's going to take some time just to do a bit of investigating and stuff, but yeah, feels good, feels very good. Yeah, even better than I remember, so great feeling. So we'll do a bit of exploring on how things work, and then we'll make a move. We are underway. Okay, so the first voyage of Doxie by the new owner. So yeah, just gonna motor across the channel here, and we'll get some sail up. But just a gentle southerly at the moment, so yeah, just be a little sedate little cruise. But yeah, just going on the engine at the moment, but I'm going along nicely. Okay, here we go. We've got a nice little breeze coming on. It's a light breeze, but we are doing about 6.5 knots. Just cruising along very nicely. It's Captain Trevor.
Hi.
Indeed. So, yeah, just going down Pittwater now. Flying Island in our sights over in the Broken Bay. But, yeah, she's cruising along really nicely.
And we're just passing Palm Beach, and Barrenjoey head ahead of us in the open sea. After crossing Broken Bay and a little dwitz further out to sea to see how she'd perform in the 1 to 2 metre swell out there, we're here now in the Ettalong Channel. The tide is going against us, so this is a bit of a test as well. They have recently dredged out the channel, so I'm sort of following it on my chart basically to make sure that we stay on the dredged part. But yeah, certainly noticing the depth difference from what it used to be. Very tight channel here, as you can see. We're got to go between these red and green markers. The green ones, of course, to keep to the right or starboard, and the reds to keep to port. Okay, you can see the tide running there against the the green buoy there as we curve into the bay and then follow along the shoreline. There's literally sandbar just a few metres off to the left there. And this is where we got to so far. So my phone actually overheated halfway through the trip, so I've broken it into 2 parts. But that's where we dwitzed out into the ocean and then coming in. So that's the first leg of the journey. Here we are now passing Wagstaff and curving round into Pretty Beach. And it is. So it's a bit of a zigzag path going in. Sandbar there, as you can see, to be avoided at all costs. Ooh, as we fight against the ebbing tide, all of a sudden some yobbos I spied. Yeah, the speed limit is actually 4 knots, believe it or not. Anyway, what can you do? Right, so curving now around, that's Hardy's Bay, and we're now turning towards the Rip Bridge, which goes from Booker Bay across the narrow channel. And I've put the jib back up now, so we've got the assistance of the engine's idling and the jib's pulling us along, but going under the Rip Bridge, all sorts of eddies and currents, so definitely ready on the engine there just to give it a bit more welly and get us through that like an orange pip being squeezed between your fingers. Looking back to Hardy's Bay. And the Rip Bridge. So aiming for the middle. My mast height is around about 12 metres, 17 for the bridge at high tide. It always looks like you're going to touch, but I think there's a lot more space there than it looks. But it is always a little bit of a sharp intake of breath moment, pointing straight at the sun. Very nice. And looking back at the bridge, so we sort of are going to a more of a slack head tide now, and watching the wildlife. An eagle flying around. I'm not sure what brand it is, but I'm sure he does. But yeah, very majestic. And now heading down the channel past Woy Woy. That's Davis Town over there on the right, and Woy Woy somewhere in there. And as we were coming into Brisbane water, all the yachts were out there, and we thought we were going to have to go through the race, but they all moved north. And here we are coming in towards the mooring at Point Frederick from a shore vantage point, which we were lucky to get. And we were moving along quite smartly even here, and this is just on the jib with the engine just idling. So certainly not shy at getting up and going is our Doxie. Did a bit of a cruise past here as we filled in the headsail, and then did a little bit of a turn to come back in towards the mooring. Found that she actually turned on a dime, so very manoeuvrable, quite surprising. I think somebody was trying to tell me that, it's got a long keel, so it's not going to be very manoeuvrable, but yeah, I found exactly the opposite. So yeah, dream to cruise along in. And this is her first instance of coming to her new home. So many good adventures should be had from this point. And we're now making the upwind approach to the mooring buoy, which hasn't had anything on it for a good 6 months. So yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of growth on it. I have booked somebody to service that now, but until I knew I was getting Doxie, then I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. All ready to pick her up. I got the long boat hook this time. There are 2 other boat hooks on them, but they were quite short. And yes, couldn't quite reach the mooring when we tried it after the test sail. So got that rectified. And here's me having a go at picking it up. But what happens is there's all sorts of sludge on the bottom there and it slipped off the hook. So yes, embarrassing first arrival, but hey, it is what it is. Trevor's unaware at this point. Where's the mooring? Look over the side. Ah, there it is. Right, okay. So this is where we found it really did turn on a dime. We were back at the mooring again in very short order. So there we are. Hooked up and in her new home. As you can see, there was a bit of sludge at the bottom of that, but we scraped it off and yeah, as I said, somebody coming to service the mooring soon. So yep, and this is the second part of the trip. The voyage home. And here she is in her new home. Lots of fun times ahead. Thanks for watching another Adventures of Foxy Doxie. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you.